Let's get started.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I know it's a surprise to see me, but welcome to Sith Lord Joey's the Miyagi Kai podverse. That's right. As I put in the title, I'm back. You know, cue the Tobey Maguire clips. I'm back. So it's happening. I'm here. I've returned to the Miyagiverse, and I'm ready to bring some goodies.
Let the games begin.
We're going to talk
go.
about my
Yep.
fan film. We're
Let's
going to
get
talk
started.
deets about spin-offs, and we're going to talk deets about hype for Karate Kid Legends.
Yes, we
Good
are.
times.
So we got a lot, guys. It's gonna be a good show. Oh, is Tyrell here? I think I saw another person join. Yeah, Tyrell's here.
Tyrell!
Awesome.
Hey,
Oh yeah, I
Yo.
didn't recognize him until I saw the
Look
photo.
who's
Like, oh
here.
yeah,
Tyrell, how's it going?
it's the badass character.
Hey.
yeah. How's everyone doing?
We're doing
I'm
great, man.
good. Doing well.
Since
Thank
we're
you.
gonna go with the
Yeah.
bonsai badass, let's go. Bonsai
Yep.
badass.
Yep.
We got the bonsai badass. That's pretty sick. I got my photo from Strike. I think actually. Where's my photo still? This is still my photo. It's a pretty
Nice.
good one.
You should upload your wolf. You should do your wolf photo.
Yeah, I have that. I think I don't remember if this is that's on Restream or I have that one on this one. Maybe
Yeah.
I do. Let me see if I have it still. I might have the avatar still. Let's see if I still have that.
I know Americans.
All cuddled and spoiled. All cuddled and spoiled.
Yeah, it's like I know Americans.
What if I have a good what if? I have a good what if. What if? Now this might be crazy. What if Sam joined the Iron Dragons?
That'd be wild.
That would be
That,
crazy.
she would be OP, bro. I'm
Ooh.
sorry. No one's stopping Sam if she's in that dojo. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sam,
Wow,
is-
yeah.
Wonder what
oh my
Miguel's
God,
gonna think
Sam
about
in that
that.
one. Sam in that setting would be insanity.
Yeah. it
Not
would
even
be, except
Tori.
for one thing. Except for one thing, though. You know, Wolf would beat Sam.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but he would. He would.
Actually, I don't know about that.
What do you mean you
Because-
don't know about that?
Because I don't
beats-
think
he
because he
beats
didn't.
Axel.
Yeah, but he didn't do it to Zara, so I don't know if he would do it to Sam.
Maybe
That's the thing.
maybe
Right.
Wolf. Maybe that's Wolf's weakness. Maybe Wolf won't hit. Maybe Wolf doesn't hit women. It's just men. Because
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
bad.
I don't know. Or the fact that he,
Zara already bruised
or
it,
it's
so-
possible though he might be abusing her emotionally, or either he's abusing her emotionally, or he's abusing her off screen.
oh yeah. we
All
have
I'm gonna
three-
say though is if Sam was in the Iron Dragons, Tori's not beating her. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, even Tori trained in her strongest Cobra Kai form. I don't think she could beat an Iron
Yeah.
Dragon trained Sam.
That's
Because
true.
I think that Wolf is just too good of a teacher. It's just there's no way.
Like the way this dude teaches his students, I'm sorry, bro. Like Axel, like for example, that's a good example. This dude
Oh,
was
Chosen, you know what we should start with? I was talking to Tyrell about this. Did you see the
Okay.
new AI series that they've been putting out on YouTube?
yeah.
Do you see Cobra Kai Reborn?
I haven't seen that one, but I heard about it.
Bro, you're gonna love it. In this series, Silver's still alive, and Quan is on Iron Dragons.
Bro, that's a big missed opportunity. in my
Yeah, bro,
opinion.
like, it's crazy, and it's insane, dude. The conversation between Silver and Axel in there too. Like the AI is a little spotty at times, but the writing in this thing is god.
You know what would be interesting, Joe? What if they actually had Ewan as like the top Cobra Kai student, and Kwon gets mad and he betrays Cobra Kai and joins Iron Dragons?
That'd be interesting. My
Yeah,
theory
that'd
has
be
actually been, and I've been telling Melissa this, and we're going to talk about this today. I actually think that if they do a Cobra Kai movie after Karate Kid Legends, I think they're gonna. I think that Wolf is gonna go to Korea and take Yoon for himself.
It's possible.
Yo!
And also too, and I just want to point this out. If they do a Cobra Kai movie, imagine if it's Robbie and Sam that actually wins the tournament in that movie. And
It
that-
could happen. That'd be pretty cool.
I still think
I love
that
that.
whoever wins so for this new Cobra Kai movie, whoever we get, I still think because they've been forced Chinese for, and I'm actually okay with this. I think Kenny. I hope and I pray Kenny wins the All Valley. Like, please, bro.
Hey Jake, how are you, my friend?
Well,
I mean-
but if they do a Cobra Kai movie, the All Valley's not going to be like the final tournament. There's going to be a bigger one.
But I just want a movie with Johnny because they set it up at the end of season 6 so perfectly. I just want a movie with Johnny, Kenny, Devin, and Anthony. Those 4 right there. Because
I think that'd be great.
Because Joe, imagine how crazy would it be if we get that kind of movie and we get the All Valley return, and Kenny and Devin wins the All Valley belt. Bro, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean, that would be great. That would be
Would
insane
you
if that
have
happened
the
at some point in the movie.
Would you have be the main antagonist? For
I don't want anyone else being in that movie. Just those 4. Just those 4.
Well, you have to have an antagonist for Johnny in the story, though.
Right.
Maybe Wolf comes back. You never know.
Yeah, I could see Wolf.
But I'm just saying those 4, just those 4 characters I want in the movie.
Yeah, you could have those 4 characters and then throw in a villain in there. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. That would.
Actually, you know what would be cool? You know what would be cool, actually? So you could bring in new villains into the universe and be interesting as awesome as Wolf is.
Yeah.
There's still the other sensei, the Fist, that's not been defeated yet. You could have Johnny fight Wonder Boy Thompson, have him be a remnant of the Fist, and have the Fist come back and try and win.
Bro, that would be crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Underground.
I actually have a title idea for a Cobra Kai movie that would be crazy.
Okay.
Do you want to know my title idea?
What?
So we're about to get Karate Kid Legends, right?
Right.
So how would you feel about Cobra Kai Legacies?
Bro, because yes, it makes sense because you have Johnny as like the main character.
Right. That would be good. But you know what I would also too, like with that being said, with the term legacies, it's like you got to have that. Then I mean, also definitely Devin, Kenny, and Anthony, but you've also got to have though too in terms of legacies, Miguel, Tori, Sam, and Robbie also in this.
Listen. I want to be honest with you guys. I love Miguel, Robbie, Tori, Sam to my heart. I think like the best characters. But I feel like people forget they were like the main focus of season 6. Like I want the other characters to shine more because they never got the shine in season 6.
Well, they would, and they could definitely.
That's why, listen, if you want to do spin-offs with those characters like Robbie, Miguel, and Tori, give them their separate spin-offs.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Underground. I mean, I think we have so many great new characters in this universe that it won't even matter.
But I was just saying,
I mean, like truthfully though, too, even if they switched it, even if Robbie, Tori, Sam, and Miguel get the movie, they could still do spin-offs with Kenny, Devin, and Anthony as well.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, but like I just want to focus the movie on them.
It's like why would you give a movie to this generation, but you wouldn't
because they never had the shine in season 6. I'm gonna be honest. I know,
but we all knew that was going to happen because.
So why not give them a movie? Why not give them a movie then? Like it's simple.
Or why not give them a spinoff? Why not give?
Why do we have to always focus on the core 4? I love the core 4 to my heart, but why do we have to always focus on them? Didn't they already have enough?
Because they're the mains.
So go watch Cobra Kai.
You have the daughter Daniel, you have the son of Johnny Lawrence, you have Miguel, who's this generation's Karate Kid. It's like I said, and you have Tori, who's a world champion.
Like even as a Robbie fan, I don't want Robbie to be in this movie. As a Robbie fan, I don't want him to be in this movie because I want these 3 other characters.
We don't know. I mean, like I said, we could have all 7 of them, or all.
No, I'm sorry, please, no, I don't want that. That's literally a repeat of Cobra Kai, basically the show again.
A movie.
Yeah, if you have all of them in the movie, it's
a spin-off series. I would agree, but a movie. I mean,
but it's not Cobra Kai.
Why not have them in a movie?
I just want them to focus because they literally set up on the end of season 6 so perfectly with Kenny in the middle and you have Devin, Anthony.
But that might not have set it up for a movie though. That could have set it up for a spin-off.
I personally think it should be a movie. I mean, if you can make Karate Kid Legends, then you can definitely make a movie out of this.
I mean, like I said, I would be happy with it either way, but you can't just rule out the fact that Robbie and Sam, they could.
I mean, if you want to have Robbie and Sam, you can just make other spin-offs. Like, I mean, there's probably going to be other spin-offs.
I'm talking about, like, if you just want to, you can't just rule out that Robbie, Sam, and Miguel and Tori and Johnny and Daniel and Chosen could be in a movie. Could be.
Well, I'm just gonna say I don't like that person because
How do we make 7 people in the chat? That's awesome. Oh, 6 now. Okay.
I know.
Hey, we love Deadpool. Thanks, man, for being here. You didn't miss much. We're just kind of spilling the tea. I'll be honest, and this might be something people won't expect. I actually agree with Chosen. We're gonna get a lot of like, if we're gonna dive into more movies in the franchise, this first movie, and actually I thought of my second title. I liked the first title, but I came up with the title I like even more, Chosen.
Well,
I
that's
think
what
it should be called, I think it should be called Cobra Kai Next Generation. And I think at the time of this movie, all the regular teens that are now adults should not appear until an end credit scene later in the movie.
Okay.
Because I think that their story is not, they're focused on their future, and their story is going to be way different. We need this movie to be about Johnny as a solo sensei. I don't want Daniel. Well, actually, Daniel can be in this movie because you have to have Daniel and Johnny lead the 2 different styles in the tournament, right? Because Miyagi-Do, like we saw at the end of season 6, Miyagi-Do would be led by Daniel, but Johnny's going to lead Cobra Kai. So Johnny and Daniel are okay, but Sam will still be busy doing other things. Miguel will still be busy doing other things. Robbie and Tori will be busy doing their thing. This is contained in the valley. Only the people that are in the valley does this affect.
So the only people that should be is Johnny, Daniel, Kenny, Anthony, and Devin. I was like,
Yep, I agree. I think that's the right move. And then the end credit scene, you have Miguel, Robbie, Tori, and Sam show up, and maybe even Dimitri and Eli, but maybe more Eli than Dimitri, show up as senseis and set the next trilogy up.
You see, that's
I mean,
perfect.
we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like
they made Devin start as a terrible character. They made Devin a good character, then did nothing with her. She
right.
In part 2,
I mean, I know that.
That scene in part 2 is so good, and then they just cast her out.
Even Kenny, bro. What the heck happened to Kenny, bro? I'm like,
no, I mean, I mean, listen, I agree. If we get a movie with them, I'll be happy either way. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I just can't see like Kevin, Devin, Kenny, and Anthony like being like the central focus of a movie.
I mean,
I feel like you should have the OG, the OG characters too, Sam, Robbie, Miguel, because it all started
the opportunity
because I mean, Sam and Robbie and Miguel definitely, because it all started with them.
Yeah, but isn't that done with? Listen, I love that idea, but we literally got through that in season 6. Why? I don't get. Is Miguel winning the tournament not enough for people? Is like freaking Robbie getting a good ending not enough? Like, I'm actually curious.
Like, I think Kenny did not exactly. See, I think that we could get the opportunity to use these characters, and like I said, I think they could come in for small parts later, Melissa. But these core characters, they are so focused on Cobra Kai because we're going to get spin-offs on them and they're main characters, and that's great. But when the writers chose to make new characters and further the story, they need to do things with these characters now. And
right. But what I'm saying is like, why a movie though, and not another spin-off?
Because that's what everyone wants. Do you guys not want to see?
Because here's why the movie makes sense. Okay, so the spin-off, there's more material for what you can do with the Sam and Miguel show, and there's more material what you can do with the Robbie and Tori show. For a movie, you do a movie because I don't want to be mean to people, but Kenny and Devin serve a movie better, and even Anthony, because there's not enough they can do with their story.
Mm-hmm.
So a movie makes it better for them because you get to build it up and go, hey, this is our big wins, and this is our arc. And then maybe they become senseis one day. Maybe they do something different. You don't need to do a whole show for them. And here's the other thing. Here's the other reason why you do a movie, especially because of their lead sensei. This is, I'm sorry, and I know people might not like this, it's great that Joe is bringing the podcast. Oh, thanks. We love that. Cool. So the thing you got to think about is if Daniel, I know Daniel was mostly guest star in Karate Kid Legends, but he still gets to be in a movie with Jackie Chan. If Ralph gets to do his thing and that's great, and maybe Daniel's in this movie too, but this movie needs to be more Johnny's movie than Daniel's. Like Daniel can appear and be supportive, but I want Johnny as the lead sensei because I think Johnny needs to be. I think after Karate Kid, after not being in Karate Kid 2 except for the beginning, Daniel got 3 movies and now he's going to get Karate Kid Legends, and he got Cobra Kai portions of it. We need Johnny, despite getting the majority of Cobra Kai. Johnny needs to lead this movie.
Okay. Listen, like I said, I will be happy. I'll be happy with that if they do a Cobra Kai movie with exactly the way you and CBO are predicting.
Yeah, I'll
be happy with that. I'll definitely be satisfied.
And if it's a movie, it's a bigger budget, so Tyrell,
yeah,
I just came up with an idea to make my dream become a reality.
What is it?
You can have the movie will have 2 uncredited scenes. Yeah, don't have Wolf come into the movie until later, probably like the end of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or for the final battle. Because what I thought about is this movie needs a new villain.
Yeah.
Right?
So I came up with an idea. We get a new sensei that's not connected to Iron Dragons at first, but they know each other. Like I was telling Tyrell on the phone. You ready for this, Tyrell?
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you introduce a new dojo we've never seen before, and they're kicking the crap out of Anthony, Kenny, and Devin. These students are ruthless. They're crazy. They're on another level, even more than Iron Dragons, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera pans, and we finally see their sensei, and it's the man, the myth, the legend, motherfucking Scott Atkins up in this bitch. Like,
Damn.
Oh my god, Scott Atkins in the Cobra Kai movie would go crazy,
Bro.
Yeah.
You know what, Joe? You're
and
making
at the end of the movie, you find out that Scott Atkins and Wolf are brothers, and then you set up this whole war coming to you. The new Kreese and Silver on a global scale.
Yep.
Oh my god,
Rivalry.
I'm not trying to cook, but like Johnny versus Scott Atkins, I don't think you're gonna get something better than that. Like
No.
I'm guessing. Hold on. I'm guessing Scott Atkins is Terry Silver and Sensei Wolf is Kreese.
Yeah. And what's crazy about that? Wolf being an end credit scene is peak. Yeah, man. He'd be in the movie too, but he's not gonna be the main focus right away. Because
Underground has a point here.
what did I say? Did I miss it?
He said if we get a Cobra Kai movie, it's gonna have a different feeling without Martin Cove and Thomas Ian Griffin. He's right about that.
Yeah.
I think it's 6, but yeah, if there's a spot that opens up, Jake, yeah, we can definitely have you in here. We're only going to do this stream till about 8:50. I'm going to go till 9:30 today.
Okay.
I want to make sure that we have a structured plan so that we don't go too long, but also we go an appropriate amount of time that fits, so we keep
That's
people's
perfect,
attention
bro.
and our eyes on us. But yeah, I see what Underground's saying. I think there's ways around it. Like maybe we could get some flashbacks of Kreese and Silver we've never seen before, so they could still be a part of the movie.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think
Also,
there would be
also too, Joe, what I was thinking is that if Daniel's not in this movie, they could still have a way of making him feel like he is. Sort of like what
I think
they do
he'll be
with
in the movie.
Miyagi.
Because Ralph Macchio and Billy both said they wanted to do it together. So
Okay.
I still think there's a chance he could. And by the way, I want to mention something in what Underground said. I'm gonna be honest with you, Underground. I'm actually glad he didn't open back Eagle Fang because, in my opinion, I don't like Eagle Fang.
You don't like Eagle Fang, huh?
No.
That's crazy.
I prefer Johnny's Cobra Kai.
I understand. And that's why, Chills, you're going to like my twist about one of the big surprises of the movie that I was telling Tyrell on the phone. In this movie, even though the students train both ways, Johnny will fight balanced. Johnny will not be able to use. Here's the twist of the movie. Are you ready? Johnny can't use Miyagi-Do in this movie.
Ooh.
No.
He can only use Eagle Fang and Cobra Kai.
All right.
Because this new sensei we created is too strong. that defense, he just cuts through it.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Ooh.
So Johnny has to go back to his roots to go hardcore against this guy.
Eagle Fang was a waste of the dojo. Honestly, for real, bro, it was a waste.
I like the Eagle Fang for the marketing opportunity. I wish that we got more merch for it, but I do think Johnny's Cobra Kai is why I know children's gonna love my music video because it's gonna be cool.
You know, believe it or not, though, okay, I'm not a big fan of the name, but Eagle Fang was Johnny's Cobra Kai. It was just under a different name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it. I wish we would have got a better
Alternate version.
more of it. I think they should have done a better job of diversifying the style a little bit, so we could see more of like how different it was. Because I didn't like that in part 1 they made it seem like it was such a joke, when it was such a big part of Johnny's life.
And by the way, Joe,
Yeah,
you mentioned earlier about music video. I really hope, and I'm not trying to glaze, I really hope Quan is in this music video because I want my boy in that music video.
there may be a chance he appears.
I mean, he carried the Cobra Kai team. You gotta put him in that.
Yeah, he might be there. You never know. I might have a surprise in there for you.
Imagine you put Rice, or if you put the line where he says, "How you say, lovers quarrel" in there, I'm gonna laugh, bro.
That'd be crazy.
Like you put that at the end of the music video.
That'd be crazy.
All right, so talking about the script that the story that Terrell and I are and Underground and Cobra Kai rappers are doing, and you too, Joe.
Yeah.
So where did we leave off again, Terrell?
Well, since I haven't done this in for a while, like we left off with episode 5, where we pretty much wrapped up the episode, and then we kind of left off there.
Yeah, catch me up to speed on what I've missed.
Okay, so far in episode starting back in like the first episode, like we pretty much have Miguel and Sam arriving in Okinawa, and then Sam pretty much like meets up with her study abroad group, and more importantly, like one of those people that she meets is Malin, which is who I have as my profile picture, who is going to be one of the main characters throughout the show. Probably mentioned this before, but yeah. And then throughout pretty much what we've been writing from the second episode up into episode 5, it's pretty much been about them trying to like find like pieces of this one scroll that contains like a pretty powerful technique that will eventually be used later in the show.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because you know what I was thinking about that you just made me think of lately?
Yeah.
That reminds me of, I don't know if you know about this. I don't know how hardcore your childhood was. But when you mentioned scrolls, I just think of this Power Ranger cartoon I grew up on called Operation Overdrive, which would be a sick setup for a Chosen and Mike Barnes and Yoon spinoff. Of like, there's this whole thing where they're trying to find the scrolls and then lead to these different gems and these stones. And it's so cool. Like, it's like, oh man, it made me think of that, because it's like, oh, he's talking about the scrolls, or even Ninja Storm thinking about the 3 scrolls chosen to protect them, which is crazy. But that's really cool. I like the idea of that. Do we know what this technique is yet?
No, not quite yet. I haven't really brainstormed like the full like details about this.
Well, it sounds like
all I can tell you right now is that it's definitely going to be used by most likely Sam, like against a pretty powerful opponent.
So
like
we need to come up with what this move is for Sam.
Yep.
So that we know what are, because it's always better as a narrative experience when you know what the big surprise is for the audience to know what to expect.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
About the spinoff, that I have an idea on what you could do as like a final fight. You guys remember back in Karate Kid 2 where Daniel fought Chosen to death?
Yeah.
What if Sam does that? That would be
Yeah.
crazy, actually.
Well, that's our idea.
That was something we were talking about.
That's one of our
Yeah.
ideas, and and another thing I will say is that, like, without giving too much away, like there is going to be like some kind of tournament that Sam is going to have to compete in order to save Miyagi-Do's legacy. Pretty much all.
Bro, those two ideas, the fight to death and the tournament, is great ideas right there, peak.
I love that.
And
idea.
I don't know if I told you. I don't know if
I
I
was gonna
told you
say
yet,
that.
Joe. But I do plan on doing 5 seasons with this spinoff.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man. I
Yeah.
think 5 seasons is a good time for a spinoff.
I love that.
Also, too, just something I want to say: the tournament and fight to the death. That was something that Terrell and I both discussed. It was
Hell yeah, Lee Fong.
that was something Terrell and I both, we both discussed. We both came up with that idea because we felt that it should be that it set the feel. We felt like that's how it should be because Sam is going in Okinawa, and we all know how rivalries can potentially how severe those kind of rivalries that are made in Okinawa are different compared to the ones made in the valley.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's a sad part about Cobra Kai is that that's the one thing I do wish to happen in Cobra Kai. I wish Robbie and Quan fought to death. Like, I wish that happened. Bro, why didn't they do that, bro?
Here's the thing. Let me ask you this, Chosen. If Quan was to die, well, in a different way than how he died, right? Would you be okay if Quan still died, but instead of getting killed by like accidentally like stabbing himself from doing a kick, how would you feel if he actually lost to Robbie and died in combat? Would you feel better about that?
You know what? That actually worked well because let's not forget, Robbie's going to get flashbacks to when he paralyzed Miguel. He's going to get flashbacks from that. That would actually work. You see, that's better, Joe. That's actually better. Because
I wouldn't have minded that either. If they went the Chosen route, that would have been great.
Right, but see, then you kind of like run the risk of turning Robbie into like a killer.
He's not going to be a killer.
Because here's the thing. Quan was already, I would have had it, if I wrote it, I would have had it where Quan had already gotten so far, and this would be kind of dark, the writers would never do this, but I'm going to tell you something. I would have had it where Tori tried to intervene in the fight, and then I would have had Quan do something like either stomp on Tori's leg or like push Tori out of the way, do something that edged Robbie on and made Quan push to a level where he deserved it, right? You just have to make Quan look like such a villain that it's justified in the meaning, right? Like,
but would it though? What imagine what that would do to Robbie's character.
It would make
it's not gonna. Here's the thing that
especially
people
in the
forget.
fandom.
That's not
Especially
okay.
in the fandom.
People would understand. I like that, no, Joe. I think that's better. No, Joe. I like that.
Sure? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
It's way better than Quan dying to Axel. I'm sorry, that was trash.
Well, I know that. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, having Robbie responsible for Quan's death. Do you honestly think that would sit right?
Hold on, Joe. What do you gotta say? Joe, hold on. I want to hear what Joe has to say.
Yeah. It would make for better character writing. That would be crazy, Underground. If Quan died in the snake pit, that would have been brutal as hell. Yeah. Like,
what are you gonna say, Joe?
Here's the way you look at it. No one's responsible for death because the way that you look at it in this situation, it's not like Robbie like murdering Quan. It's a fight, right? So Quan challenges, how you frame it is, Quan challenges Robbie to fight to the death. But Robbie defeats Quan, and at first, Robbie tries to be graceful and like, hey, I defeat you, and I'm not going to kill you. I'm too much of the Miyagi. This is how it should be. This is the end, right? And then what happened is you could do something where Quan tries to pull a trick, and then maybe he still has the knife, and he pulls the knife on Robbie. And then what happens is Robbie sidekicks him to the chest and then puts him in like the pit or something. So you make it more of like a tragedy still. right?
Right.
Like,
So like sort of like what they did with Axel.
yes, but different because you frame it in a way where it would make sense. Where Robbie would try to help Quan, but Quan would kind of slap his hand away.
Right, but see the thing of it is though too is like Axel's getting a lot of hate because of what happened with Quan. Like people are blaming him because, and
But
I
it's a
get the
different
feeling that if they did
situation.
that with Robbie would get the flack of the hate too. So
Here's my
it's
question
like,
though. Here's my question though. Did Axel really get hate? Where was the hate in part 3? That's my big. You see that now? That's my big issue with part 3. They didn't really dive into that with Axel. That's my big
I'm
issue.
talking about in the fandom.
I mean,
And
even in the show, like I feel like that
a
was
lot
big,
of people did. A lot of people did hate. A lot of fans do hate on Axel because of that. Because of what happened with Quan, forgetting the fact
I
that it
just
was
don't.
an accident.
To be
I
fair,
don't
and
know
I
that
know
would
Chosen
be
loves,
so-
I know Chosen loves Quan, but I'm gonna be completely honest with this. The way Quan was acting during that brawl, and I like the character of Quan quite a bit. I'm just gonna say this: when he decided to push Robbie, they did the way he did during the brawl started. He earned getting knocked into that camera. He earned that. When literally at the end of the match, he pushed him in. That was ridiculous.
I was
Yeah.
like, bro, no. When we got to that point, I was like, damn, bro got humiliated on the camera, bro. It's like,
Yeah.
I
But
still think I know they did the team up match, but I still think the biggest mistake of this show, even more than killing Quan, is we needed a proper scene not connected to the tournament where we saw Quan, especially since they're the two Cobra boys. We needed to see Quan and Miguel have a real fight, not just to make room for Robbie.
you see, that's the big issue. Why
We
kill off
needed a
Quan?
real
You see, so I agree with that.
Like these are the real Cobras. We needed to see the two of them actually fight.
No. Here's the thing. Why kill off Quan? You could have had that fight in part 3.
And
I mean,
honestly, if you
I
really think
do-
about it, that would have been amazing for the final fight.
Bro,
it would have been
oh my-
awesome. It would have been awesome. It would have been awesome to see. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I mean, if they did kill off one, I agree they should have done it in the way that they
I've been
you
thinking
said.
I've been thinking more about it, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. I rewatched the fight between Miguel and Axel, and while it's great that they show that Miguel learned all these different fighting styles,
I know there was no build up to that. There was no build up to that fight.
not only no build up, but I'll be honest, for as great as a character that Miguel is, the writers gypped him on a good fight scene. Because
Yeah.
not only does he have an opponent that isn't even that good, but because okay, I'm gonna say something that's kind of wild right now, and I'm sure all the Patrick Lewis fans are gonna get in my DMs and get all mad at me, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it. I love that the act that they had to try and stuff, but you could tell that Patrick Lewis has never done martial arts in his life. And I didn't, and I want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy because we got to. Sometimes that guy's got to come out.
Right.
It's great that he's this big and tall and towering person, but when Terry Silver moves, when he's doing a kick or a punch or whatever he is as a tall person, there's grace in his movement. Axel makes everything look awkward.
You know, here's the thing,
He's
Joe.
got cool kicks, but it's awkward.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Joe.
I do agree. I do agree, Joe. It definitely looks like it definitely does look awkward, and Zolo it definitely outshines Lewis.
And
Here's
I
the thing. Here's the thing, Joe. I wanna bring up something.
It's a real opponent. Like with his training, it's more sense for him to fight Quan because there'll actually be a match. It would actually
Here's the thing, Joe. Hold on. Let me say something real quick. Joe, do you agree with me on this though? Do you think his best fight was with Robbie in part 3?
Yeah. I loved his fight against Robbie. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Definitely.
I thought the best fight with Axel that we got was when, I love the Robbie versus Axel fight in part 3. That was the best fight that Axel actually tried and actually did something that proved that he was a menace.
That's my big issue with Miguel versus Axel. They didn't really
build up. You see
they didn't build it up right.
They didn't do enough to show that they're enemies because Robbie was hurt. And then the thing that I just feel like, because I found a way that you could have built up, that you could have made Miguel hate Quan. Like, I found a way that would make the story super good.
Bro, I want to hear this.
It's really dark, and Sam fans aren't going to like it, but
Mhm.
I would have had a scene where something would have happened where, say, remember we talked about the deleted scene where Dimitri gets bullied by Quan?
Right.
Sam finds out about it, and Quan grabs her and straight up, like, chokes her and throws her to the wall, and Miguel sees it, and then Miguel... Because here's the thing. I've been thinking a long time about this. I know people wanted Miguel to get a win, and they wanted him to be, second tag champion, and that's great, right? But
Right.
I didn't want Miguel's fight in the show to be a tournament fight. I would have had Miguel's win be that he beat Quan in a real, straight up, real fight, and make it. You could still have it in a tournament setting, but you have a bonus to it as well. Because I feel like that's the problem that I think this show always walked the line of, is we needed more fights that weren't just the tournament. Everything you've got, we have to have a tournament. There has to be a tournament. That's why I love season 5, because I feel like we need more of those. These are trained professionals, and we need to know that they're going to get into fights that are going to be scrappy and not always be not always be at a tournament with tournament rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
A lot of things. What will happen if Sam fights Zara instead of Tori versus Zara? Oh, that'd be crazy.
It would
That
be
would
pretty
be,
similar to what happened.
Yeah,
think
that
we
would
might
be a
get
short
that
fight.
in the
That would be a
series.
short fight.
Yeah, I think we
That
might
would
get
be-
that in the series. I don't think it'll be as short as you think.
Well, not as short. No, what I
No,
mean
wait,
is,
whoa,
wait, hold on. Let me finish.
What do you mean short fight?
When I say short fight, like, I don't mean it like that. I just mean, like, because Zara wouldn't be able to get to Sam mentally. She wouldn't be able to get inside Sam's head. So it would be maybe short is like not the not the best word, but not as long. You know what I mean? Not as not as long. It would, I mean, definitely would have been a long fight, and Zara would have definitely proved his challenge to Sam, and she would have definitely matched Sam's skill for skill. But ultimately, because she couldn't get into Zara couldn't get into Sam's head and mess with her, throw her off balance. It would have been like Sam would have been able to get it. Would have been able to beat her at least a little bit easier than Tori. Like, Sam wouldn't have struggled so hard, so hard, and both physically and mentally, the way Tori had. So it would have been like and again, I don't mean this the way that sounds, but it would have been like an easier fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but someone mentioned in the chat, I do agree with, Sam versus Zara would be one-sided and boring. I do agree with that. It would be one-sided and boring.
I want to talk about what We Love Deadpool said here, because I agree with this 100%. Like, winning the second tag was awesome, but man, they could have given us. Here's this: if they do a movie and they do actually make Johnny the main character, give Johnny a street fight with Wolf, please, because we need to see that. Like, I'm sorry. I liked the scene when it came out in the one, but I've rewatched a couple times. I'm really not, and I know Chosen warned me, but I really hate that we ended. I really hate that Johnny's last fight in the show.
You know, that's a sad part, Joe. You know, the one fight, there's only one great fight in part 3. That's Robbie versus Axel. The other fights are pretty predictable and boring, whatever. And also, Joe, Spider-Man even said that Miguel versus Quan should have been a street fight in part 3, which I agree with.
I agree. I think that'd be great. You know what would be crazy? Ooh. I just cooked. I just made an even better part 3. If we do it like the AI series where Quan, even though you had the idea of Quan fighting, since we can switch dojos, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if Quan realizes that his team is carrying and Wolf realizes that Axel and Zara isn't doing it for him, right? So he goes up to him and is like, your teacher's failing you. Your teachers don't care about you. I care about you. And he steals Quan, right? So Wolf steals Quan. And this is why you do it, right? You want to know, you know what the best dynamic in this entire show has been since the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Johnny and Miguel, right? How do you
Yep.
pay off the amazing moment in the show? How do you do the most epic fight ever in the show? You know what you do? You have Miguel and Johnny wheel technique fight Wolf and Quan.
Bro,
Yeah, that was cool.
why, bro, Joe? You're cooking, bro. You're cooking.
Oh, I just cooked, bro. I can't help it.
Someone said in the chat earlier that Sam versus Zara will be one-sided. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I think it's interesting. They'd
Yeah.
have to come up with a reason for why they would fight.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. How? I mean, I agree with that, but like I just feel like the fight itself will be one-sided. Like,
Well, not necessarily. If they
Sam
had,
would
if they
easily, because that's the thing. I don't like one-sided fights. I want both
Well,
opponents.
Here's the thing: it wouldn't necessarily be if they set it up. If they set it up right, if they set it up where Zara and Sam like had beef, but like I said, Zara wouldn't be able to get into Sam's head, so it kind of like it would just be compared to Tori, like it would be in not. I don't mean it this the way that it sounds because Zara is skilled, bro. Zara is skilled, so she definitely would have been a physical challenge, but mentally, both physically and mentally, Sam would have eventually been able to beat her because
You know what?
she throw Sam off balance.
I mean, you think that's pretty good? I mean, you think my writing for this is good? Just wait till I spill the deets about Cobra Empire today. Oh man.
Yeah.
You know what I found on Reddit about Sam
Yeah.
versus Zara? Some fan made like a fan fiction of that of like Sam versus Zara fight. Like I'll probably send it to one of you. Like it kind of.
What is it? I actually am curious. What is it? Actually,
I probably can't remember every detail of it, but like
Hey,
it's
maybe
pretty much.
we love Deadpool. Maybe if you tweet the creators really hard, maybe they'll hire me as a writer.
Yeah, but anyways, as I was saying, it pretty much started off with Zara scoring 5 points on Sam, and then like Sam scored.
If they want me to be a writer, there's only 2 projects I'm interested in writing for them.
Yeah.
You either let me write the Iron Dragons show, or you let me write the Cobra Kai movie. That's the only way you're gonna get me to do it. Or I get to write the Chosen spinoff.
Okay.
Those are the 3 I want to write.
Yeah, as I was saying
I have
earlier,
ideas for all 3. Like I wouldn't mind writing the same one, but I'd be much more at home writing for my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude! Man, I just can't wait to talk to you guys about cause I've been lately during my absence. I got to talk to Tyrell because, man, Tyrell, I'm gonna send you some things later. I've been cooking, my script for my movie, including my new character because you've been doing such a great job creating your characters in your spinoff, right?
Can you send them to me too?
Yeah, I will. But I'm even going to talk about it here. The only difference is your guys are creating a spinoff on paper, and then maybe it will turn. Maybe they'll take your ideas and put it in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, I'm making a fan film where you guys aren't just going to hear about this script. You're going to see it. You're going to physically see a character be created that you never believed. So I created this character. So when I first started the project, I wanted to do my character based around Silver's lineage. Then I changed it and made Trevor's character connected to Silver's lineage, and now I'm connected to Wolf's lineage. So
that's awesome.
So I play Wolf's son, and Wolf's son is named Draken Wolf. And Draken is a master in MMA and a Krav Maga instructor, which is one of the arts I practice. And he has former military experience. A lot of the movie, actually, there's a lot of the movie where it's almost got like moments of like feeling like a crossover between like bits of like Punisher, but a little bit of that emotional punch of like Saving Private Ryan. We kind of see the damage and stuff that he's gone through war and what that's done to him. And then really like, it's like a more in-depth version of what we should have saw with Kreese, but better. And like you see, but then when the stuff goes really crazy with me and Trevor's character. So the crazy thing is the son of Wolf doesn't like the descendant of Silver. So we're like kind of that anime style rivals. So the entire movie is based upon this great rivalry. between me and Trevor's character. And then Jake's character is in there as the son of Devin, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Awesome. Can you send it to me too?
Yeah, I'll send you some of my scripts because I'm working
Someone
on a
said-
review about it.
Someone said,
Axel's a boring character. Quan was a better final boss. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hope they can make Axel better. 'Cause I feel like watching some of his clips and stuff, he should be a way cooler character. They have a good actor to play him, but the writing just doesn't. I don't understand why they didn't Winter Soldier him. I don't understand why they didn't just make him a brainless, mindless zombie and let him cause havoc. Like, I really thought that's what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going with.
I
too.
agree, Spider-Man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Axel
um,
I'm the only one thinking about Axel barely having any. Yes, exactly. He barely had any
He should
lines.
have been a villain. I said this since the beginning, since before part 2. Axel should have been a villain. I don't like this whole, he needs a soft spot. Sam needs to see this. No, none of that bullcrap. I want to see Axel, Winter Soldier. Because if you had that, the Miguel and Axel fight could have been so much better. If you had that.
If they made him such a ruthless, what they should have done is, I know they showed earlier that Miguel was losing and then he got the courage and the pep talk from Johnny. If you want to have that pep talk after you meet something, have Axel really hurt Miguel and have the blood drip from his face, and then have Miguel go fucking all in on this bastard, just like.
Yeah, you hurt my brother? No. I'm not taking it easy on you, boy.
Well, that's what he was going
Yo,
to do
that
before
would've
Chosen
been
stopped
something.
him. That's what he was going to do before Chosen stopped him. At the All Valley, remember?
Yeah, but we're talking about the fight, like the when he
We're
fights
talking
Axel.
about the final fight, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, didn't Johnny also encourage him not to go in with that way of thinking because that would have screwed him over?
Yeah, but you guys, here's the thing that I told people. I don't like the rivalry between Miguel and Axel because they don't do anything with it. Yes, there's a fight. but
I know,
we're-
I get it. I'm just saying that's what Johnny told him to do, so that's what he did.
Yeah.
Can I be honest, you guys?
Yeah.
And I told you this, Joe. This might be crazy. Miyagi don't ruin Johnny's character. I'm gonna just say it. But
I agree because I feel like in some ways it made him a much better person, but they ruined what made him such a great character. And
Even
that's
Miguel
one thing I
too.
agree with Karate on. I think that they need to fix Johnny's character. They want to turn him into a comedic class clown, and that Daniel is so much more wiser than him and knows everything. And sometimes the writers even forget whose show this is. And I just think that that's ridiculous.
Thank you, Spider-Man. Said it too. Miyagi don't ruin Miguel too. I'm gonna agree with that too. Thank you.
Well, how did Miyagi-Do ruin Miguel? He
Or-
basically just
Yeah, I don't get it.
yeah.
They should have been longer to fit Axel and Miguel's rivalry. Yeah, I agree. They could have done longer episodes. Thank you, Netflix, for not caring about your most popular show. By the way, fuck
So
you,
can
Netflix.
we get back to the well, we did get the old Miguel back though, Spider-Man. We did.
I
We got him
no,
back.
no, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. That's
I
the
don't
Miguel that
see it. I didn't see when I was watching part 3. I
Well,
didn't
why
see
do
it.
you think that they did all the flashbacks of every move that Miguel made in his relationship with Johnny and Miguel getting that headband?
Yeah, but
Johnny's headband.
my biggest issue with that is the whole thing of him avenging Robbie. The way they execute that was my big issue.
I know, but see, then that goes into the revenge before reason, which would have screwed him over.
But he had a
That's
reason.
that misses the whole point of the show. You don't go fighting for revenge because
Like
if
bro's
if you
brother,
fight for
bro's
revenge, you
stepbrother,
lose.
bro's
You
stepbrother
lose.
was literally on the floor.
But
screaming.
again, if you fight for revenge, you lose. Remember, you lose. You might as well be digging 2 graves if you go looking for revenge. And that's what happened. And
Wait,
that's what
Spider-Man, when did I say hate Robbie? I don't hate Robbie. I don't hate Robbie. I love Robbie.
I don't hate Robbie either.
I-
But that's what would have
Oh.
happened. And again, it would have ruined Miguel's character.
Oh
Miguel's
yeah, and
character is not the character who goes fighting for revenge.
I just don't like. Listen, I don't mind if they didn't do that. I just don't like the way they execute the whole thing of him avenging.
I
Robbie.
agree with what you said about Axel. They should have built it up better. But you don't have Miguel's character fighting for revenge.
But I'm not talking about the revenge part of this. I'm talking about how the way they execute the avenging part, where he's avenging Robbie. I don't like the way they execute that. That was my big problem. If they did a better job with executing that, I'll be like, okay, this is better. I just don't. It just came out of nowhere for me, and then suddenly he's fighting Axel. Like,
Well, not necessarily, because he witnessed Robbie getting injured. He spoke with Johnny about how he wants to fight for how he wants to fight.
yeah,
to
but
Robbie.
my biggest issue, why didn't they have a confrontation between Miguel and Axel? That's my big issue before that fight. I feel like we should have done that.
I agree. They should have built it up better. I agree that rivalry should have been built up better, but the fact is they didn't. They didn't. But that doesn't change the fact that we still got Cobra Kai Miguel back.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we kind of did get him back. I mean, yeah, he was in the Cobra Kai gear.
Yeah, and he was wearing Johnny's old headband.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Robbie, if you guys can make it this Friday, I am doing a podcast all about Robbie.
Yes, I'm definitely joining that underground because you know how much I love Robbie.
Yep.
Robbie's best season was season 3 and 4. I agree, bro. That's his best season. Season 3 and season 4 is his best season. No competition.
Right. So Tyrell, you want to talk about our script now? Wait, where's Joe?
I don't know, but when did Joe say like ending? He's wrapping up the stream because like it's 8:23 in my time. He said like 9:30.
I said I was gonna wrap it up at 9:30.
Yeah. So 7 more minutes.
Yeah.
Because I did kind of talk a little bit about like what we've been working on so far with Joe earlier in the stream.
Yeah, we love Robbie.
But one thing I did forget to mention to you, Joe, was that about another character who was a co-sensei of Chosen's dojo that he left behind, like when he went to the valley, like the sensei named Sensei Lin.
Yeah.
Sure
you mentioned something.
Spider-Man, nobody is hating on. Spider-Man, nobody's hating on Robbie.
Is this a female
sensei? I love Robbie.
Or is this a dude sensei?
What do you say, Joe?
Is this a female sensei or is this a guy sensei?
Female sensei.
Female sensei, and her name is Sensei Lin.
Okay, so yep, I remember you heard about Sensei Lin. Have you guys thought about she's a co-sensei, but giving Chosen's luck in the fact that Chosen is with Kim, right?
Right.
I thought about something because this would actually set up something interesting for Kim's character. I've been cooking a secret thing for your guys' scripts I haven't told you guys yet.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about the idea that I don't know like when we're gonna use yeah, I'll tell him, Jake. Thank you. Underground, me and Jake are gonna miss your stream on Friday because we're unfortunately Jake and I are gonna be at Final Reckoning. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're still
All
live,
good,
we'll
guys.
try and
All
pop
good.
in. But so what I was gonna say, so we're talking about my idea. So because we didn't really get a proper rival for her in Cobra Kai, it would be kind of cool if Kim and Chosen were still connected. And what if you said the sensei's name was
Sensei Lin.
Sensei Lin.
I got a pretty cool idea that would set up some pretty good cool things for the future. Give me 1 second.
Bless you.
What if thank you. I just had to do that real quick. What if Sensei Lin is connected to Wolf?
Yeah, we that is one of the
toyed
things
with that. We've toyed with that.
Yes,
we've talked about
a cool way that you could do it.
We know how you want to hear. We know how we're going to do it too.
Okay, I want to hear.
All right.
I can hear for a couple more minutes before I got to get back to the other stuff.
Yeah. So we're gonna make them brother and sister, right, Tyrell?
Yeah, kind of like maybe like half brother and half sister, something like that.
That would make sense considering I'm writing Wolf's brother right now. So that's
and another thing is I bet Sensei Lin she's she's not gonna know too much about her half brother, but at the same time, she also doesn't want to. She also doesn't want to have to talk about her dark past because there's something that happens between the two that causes them to separate.
Yeah.
I believe
And
it.
also too, with the plot, to the whole thing of this story is that in this story, the opposing dojo, the dojo that Wolf is connected with, he doesn't want to just, you know how like with Silver and Kreese, like they didn't even want Miyagi-Do to be a memory.
Yeah.
Well, they want what they want to do is they want to erase Miyagi's memory. They don't want to erase Miyagi's memory. They want to change it. They want to tarnish it.
Oh,
They
I just came up with something crazy.
they
Underground.
want to tarnish it. Like
I just
they
came
want
up-
they want to tarnish it. They want the people of the world to see Miyagi-Do as the bad bad dojo, the evil like the evil dojo.
Oh,
They want to ruin Miyagi's memory.
yeah.
Hold on.
Well, I was
This
going to
is
tell you guys. I just came up with something kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Underground. I just cooked.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys know how you were talking about when you first thing you think of when you're badass female sensei, you want to have them casted properly, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I just cooked Chosen. Or not Chosen. I just cooked Underground. I figured out something massive.
Okay.
So your Master Lin should be played by Mei Ling from Warrior.
Yo! Oh my
Oh,
god!
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Yo,
Are
what
you
the
ready to get the band back together? You ready for the craziness?
Yeah.
Then you make Wolf's brother, which appears periodically during the show, Andrew Koji.
bro.
Yo, that is the perfect casting right
Yeah.
there. That's
I know. I'm
perfect.
telling you,
right
I
there.
think it'd be crazy. I think it'd be crazy. And
But
I had
Spider-Man.
another idea that would be interesting too. You know, I can't think of that actor's name. I'll think of it later. But yeah, no, I think the Wolf family is pretty interesting. How we can, because the writers aren't thinking about what to do yet with that. So if we come up with the idea of how the family connects, it'd be crazy.
See,
Wait.
so Spider-Man. You're right, but see it's going to be different because they want the world to see Miyagi-Do as the bad guys. Not just one part of it. They want the entire world. They want to tarnish Miyagi's memory. They don't want it deleted. They want to tarnish it. They don't want people like they want Miyagi-Do to see they want people to see Miyagi-Do as the bad guys, like in their eyes and in their hearts.
Underground, I came up with a new. I might
So
have to
they're
watch
trying to.
Warrior tonight because
So that's what's saying. They're trying to replace and tarnish Miyagi's memory. Like, what do you guys think of that?
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, I agree with that.
I was gonna say because we're about to wrap in a minute, but I wanted to leave you guys with something. Underground, you just gave me a genius idea for a brand new video I'm gonna release tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know how everyone's been having fun with these what if stuff?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something that's gonna kind of ruffle some feathers tonight. It's gonna be kind of crazy. But I gotta rewatch some scenes from Warrior first.
Okay. But hey, Joe, can I finish this with what I was gonna say?
Yeah, go ahead and finish real quick because we're gonna wrap in a couple minutes.
So and then it's gonna be Sam's responsibility. Like Sam takes it upon herself to make people see what Miyagi-Do really is, what it should be remembered as, and what it will always be remembered as. Because people barely know that dojo exists. I mean, like the only town that actually really like Miyagi-Do's famous in, like Miyagi-Do's well known, is Okinawa. But that's it. The rest of the world, it's completely unknown except for the valley.
Yeah.
But
I mean, to be fair, they did kind of. Actually, I don't know if I should say it. Actually.
Oh, also Underground, I got I was gonna tell you, I got DC Universe online downloaded.
what were we gonna say? Were we going to see CPO?
I was gonna mention the Sekai Takai because they did kind of fight, and then everyone in the world saw them fight.
Right, but then they disband. Then they dropped out, and it's like again.
Yeah, but they still
Cobra
saw
Kai
Miyagi.
Cobra Kai is still going to be Cobra Kai is still going to be the dojo that gets remembered more, and it's like, and Miyagi-Do is like barely known, and it's like it would be easy for people for a certain dojo to want to change, to want to like turn to want to make a bad to turn like to make that dojo look bad as a memory, because nobody really knows that dojo. No, not really. So it would really be easy. It would be an easy it would be easy to tarnish, especially when we're already looking into Miyagi's past. When we're looking into Miyagi's past and finding out things that we're not that are a bit shaky, like him supposedly killing somebody. Like that. Look at what that did to Daniel. That that right there, even if it was just for a moment, that tarnished Miyagi's memory. And
yeah, that's a good thought. I know you had a lot to say on that thought, Melissa, but we are going to wrap up because I do have to get some things done. But thank you guys for being here. We'll be seeing you again soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and we have a lot of great stuff coming for you very soon.
All right, have a great night.
Yeah, have a good night, y'all.
All right, bye-bye.